Rothstein joins us now. John's a great follow on Twitter. He gets fired up. He has lots of stuff, and he is very active on it. John is, of course, CBS Sports College Basketball Insider. He voted ASU #1. And I wanted to find the people that voted ASU #1 and ask them this very direct question to John. Why ASU #1? Not that I'm upset about it, John, over Nova, Michigan State, and others.
Well, I mean, let's look at the fact right now that Arizona State's marquee victories this year at Kansas and Xavier both came away from Tempe. And the Xavier victory was on a neutral court. That was the signal that Arizona State had a chance to be a national story this year. And then obviously scoring 58 points at Fog Allen Fieldhouse, even if Kansas is not the team that it's going to be later in the season, is still a remarkable feat. So I think it's important to point out that this team's 2 victories right now supersedes any other victories that any team has this season.
And they've got one coming up a week from Saturday down in Tucson against U of A that we're all looking forward to and hoping that Alonzo Trier is able to be on the floor and at full strength. But I'll get to the Cats in a second. When you look at the job that Bobby has done out here, this program, I was a color analyst for years and years. It was a doormat. It had done nothing right. What is it that he's been able to change from your view, John?
Just, I think, the mindset that we're not going to settle for less because we're Arizona State. We're not going to be in a situation where we're going to accept being less than one of the elite programs in the Pac-12 because we're Arizona State and we don't have the tradition that other programs have. And I think it's the same thing that made Bobby Hurley such a great player at Duke. And that fire and that relentlessness to be obviously one of the top programs on the West Coast is permeating through his players.
Guard you, do you buy that? Is it too early for the hype? You like that?
I think right now it's hard to argue that just based on what these guards are doing. Now, we don't know if Arizona State can sustain this for an entire season, but, I think what you're seeing is life is hitting back guys like Trey Holder and Shannon Evans and Cody Justice. I mean, think about what these guys have gone through. Trey Holder is a player that went through the first 3 years of his college career, let's face it, in borderline irrelevance. Mm-hmm. Shannon Evans is a guy who a couple of years ago was playing at a mid-major school in Buffalo, and Cody Justice was really just thought of as a piece to a puzzle to a program that wasn't going to be relevant in the Pac-12. And now these guys have bought in. They're playing the best basketball of their career, and that triumvirate, along with Remy Martin and his speed and that dynamic off the bench, is obviously enough to warrant Arizona State to be such a potent offensive team. And I think the thing you have to look at, too, getting back to the wins over Xavier and Kansas, they didn't throw in a half-court shot at the buzzer and bank it in to beat those teams.
Right.
Arizona State averaged 98.5 points a game in victories over the Musketeers and the Jayhawks. It was not a victory. It was a decimation.